Today we're going to be making a pumpkin spice soap. This is my all-time favorite fall soap. It smells so good. It has ground pumpkin seeds for a really slight exfoliation, and it's just a really pretty orange soap. So I already have my oils and my lye measured out, so I'm going to slowly pour the lye water into my oils. My container is already pretty full. I didn't expect that, so I'm going to be really careful so we don't have an overflow because that would be a mess. And once everything's all poured in, I'm going to grab my stick blender and start mixing up some soap. Once everything is fully incorporated, it's time to add the fun stuff. So we're going to start with Brambleberry's Sunset Orange Mica. I know this looks like a pretty bright orange to be using for a pumpkin soap, but since the fragrance oil has so much vanillin, it's going to discolor to a really nice fall orange. I'm going to add a good amount so that I get a really pigmented soap.
Standing far too close to feel the heat. I'll keep running my mouth. You can grab my feet.
Now I'm going to add the ground pumpkin seeds. I know I don't show these in the video, but they're from Brambleberry. They're just a really nice slight exfoliant. They're so finely ground that it's nothing too harsh, so I really like them. I'm going to add 2 tablespoons to this batch.
Your life. Don't wanna be wrapped in an ocean of blue.
Now that we've got those added in, I'm going to use my stick blender and I'm going to kind of push the seeds and the mica down into the mixture so that I don't have anything puff up from the holes in the blender. And once I feel like it's pretty safe to start mixing, I'm going to mix it up.
An ocean of blue, so I'll pull off my face and crawl inside you. You're lost in your thoughts, but I don't mind. You can pick your points. I'll shut the blinds. Oh.
Now that we've got those added in, it's time to add the fragrance oil. So today we're going to be using Brambleberry's Pumpkin Pie Candle and Soap Fragrance Oil. This is my favorite pumpkin scent because it's the perfect mixture of pumpkin pie and pumpkin spice, and it doesn't misbehave at all. It does discolor, so if you're going to use it, be wary, but there's no acceleration or ricing. And so once I get that poured in, I'm going to use my stick blender to slowly mix it in because my container's getting pretty full at this point. So I'm going to mix it in really slowly.
So I don't know what you want. Hello, brother. Where you been? I find another now and then. I've been waiting.
Now that all of our additives are fully added, we're going to pour it into the mold. Today I'm using Brambleberry's 5-pound wooden mold with the silicone liner that goes with it. First, I'm going to take my spatula and scrape along the edges of my container so I make sure that all of the mica, all of the seeds, and everything is fully mixed in. And once I'm sure that I like how it's mixed in and everything's good to go, I'm just going to pour the whole batch right into the mold. We're not going to do any swirling or anything.
Time is sitting around the bend. You're always winning, but you got no friend.
Once everything that can be poured out has been poured out, I'm going to use my spatula to scrape the leftover bits of soap into the mold so that we're not wasting any soap.
It's just your sorrow not the end. La da da, la da 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 da, la da da da, la da 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 da.
Now I'm just going to take a little tissue and wipe off the leftover bits of soap that dripped because I like to keep it nice and neat.
Moving forward, don't know when. Moving slower.
Now I'm going to gently tap down my mold to make sure that all air bubbles are out and we have a nice solid soap. Then I'm going to take the sharp end of my spatula that I've been using and texture the top. And this is the fun part because it doesn't really matter what you do. For this soap, I just like to do whatever swirls I think look nice on the top, but you know, if you're making this soap, you can do whatever you want. Sometimes you can go down the sides first, the middle first. This one I'm just doing pretty random swirls until I get a top that I think looks good.
La da 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 da. Moving through the words you say, it gets harder every day. Moving through the words you say.
Now we're going to give it a few spritzes of rubbing alcohol to help with soda ash. And voila! You have a full 5-pound loaf of pumpkin soap here. It smells really, really good, and I cannot wait to see how this discolors, so in 18 hours or so, I'll be back to cut this loaf, and I'll see you then. Alright, so it's been about 24 hours, and the soap is finally ready to cut. As you can see, it's changed colors to this almost tannish orange color, but over the next couple weeks, it's definitely going to turn into a nice pumpkin orange. So I'm using my Brambleberry 24 bar cutter. As you can see, my loaf is a little bit long, so I'll just move that off to the side now. And here's what the soap looks like. It's just a good solid bar of soap. You can kind of see the flecks from the pumpkin seeds in it, but they're not too obvious. And like I said, this is definitely going to turn into a nice dark pumpkin orange, but for now we've got this light tannish orange color, which still isn't bad. So here's what it looks like. Thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. We're definitely going to be putting out more soap videos in the future, so make sure to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Old Tradition Soap Co, and we'll see you soon.